Birria taco's flavor, Bolognese method. We start with the chilies, the star of most birria recipes. Guajillo for the deep red color, mild heat, light acidity, and fruity aroma, supported by the ancho for roundness and sweetness. You can throw in some pasilla for earthy depth, arbol for heat, play with the ratio, and find a combination you like. Seeds and stems removed to avoid bitterness, membranes removed to control heat. We gently toast to release the aromatics, to wake them up a bit, and we soak to soften. 20 minutes. We blitz with just a touch of soaking liquid to form a paste. Now we make the ragu. Medium-low heat with a thin layer of neutral oil, minced onion in. We season with salt and we cook to evaporate the water content, concentrating the savory notes and the subtle sweetness. Once there's not much steam coming out, we crush a generous amount of garlic. For more umami, goes in later because it has way less water and breaks down really fast. Once the room smells like garlic, a tiny bit of tomato puree for a bit of umami, a bit of sweetness, and a bit of acidity. Now some herbs and spices. Cumin for some earthy warmth, oregano for some herbal sharpness and a hint of bitterness. A tiny bit of cinnamon for some sweet warmth. The smallest touch of cloves for this intense aroma that would amplify the savoriness of the meat later. We bloom our spices and let the fat take on their fat-soluble flavors. Now, chili paste in. We cook to deepen the color, cook off the harsh chili taste, concentrate the flavors, and thicken the paste. Now, in old school birria, I can't pronounce the R, there's no browning of the meat. In traditional Bolognese, there's no browning of the meat. Beef mince in. We skip the Maillard reaction and celebrate the clean beef flavors. And thanks to the chilies, we still have a Maillard looking color. Once it's no longer pink and before you hear sizzle, we decide on whether our soaking liquid is good enough for the sauce. And it really depends on the chilies, so taste. If it's fruity, it's a go. If it's bitter, it's a no. Top up with water, if need be, because we didn't brown aggressively. Just an hour. Now, once again, we add some hot water to lift the tide and help us skim and reserve all the yummy fat. We have all the umami here, all the aroma here. Let's make a pasta. Generous amount of skimmed fat. We give it just a bit of time to evaporate the accidentally skimmed liquid. Now we give it the taco treatment. Dry pasta, straight into toast. Developing a bit of nutty depth, but more importantly, coating the surface starch of the pasta, modulating starch release. Once this has some proper birria taco color, sauce straight in. We've covered this method too many times on the channel, but in essence, we treat the pasta like a risotto, using the surface starch to thicken our sauce. And just like a risotto, we gradually introduce liquid. In this case, just boiling water. The dish is flavorsome enough. I mean, talk about aroma. This is as aromatic as it gets. Whew. Once you're happy with the doneness and you can see this thick texture, we taste and adjust the seasoning. With this method, I like to keep it on the soupy side, as once it cools, the starch will further thicken. Stove off, we add a bit of sweet onion for freshness and crunch. Just enough residual heat to remove the edge. Coriander stalks for the most wonderful herbal lift, balancing the richness of the beef. As you can see, just a minute of the heat. It has already thickened quite a bit. Touch of black pepper, coriander leaves to garnish, and that's Birria Bolognese.